Tasha checking in with another video, and this is none other than my weekly review of Life After Lockup Season 6, Episode. What is it? Season 6, Episode 5. What's the title of this? Y'all know the title. It's in the description. It's like liar or something. I don't know. Okay. If it's your first time joining me, go ahead and like this video, comment in the comment section, and most importantly, subscribe to the Redefine Me channel. Okay. Let me get my light together 1 second. Okay. There we are. Hey, Joseph. Okay, hold on, y'all. Hello, Joseph. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. All right, y'all. So I hope y'all having a great Sunday. My Sunday has been great. I don't know why. Hold on 1 second. This lighting tripod is really kind of okay. I don't know why. I feel like I ain't got good light, but we gonna flow with what we got. Okay. All right. Hold on. Okay, hello, testing. We gonna flow with what we got with the lighting. I feel like I don't have good lighting, but I am ready. Hopefully, you all can hear me. Make sure my mic is good, and we about to get into this episode review. Okay, so if I had to give this show a review on a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to give this episode a 6. Okay, it wasn't really that bad. Y'all, let me know what y'all would give it on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm gonna give it a 6. And I'm gonna give it a 6 because of the little fight that went down. Okay, the knuck if you buck moment that was long overdue. You know, I was hoping so bad that the fight was different and better than that. But we're gonna talk about that a little later. Okay, let's get into the first couple. Let's get some of these couples out of the way. The ones that I feel that need to be out of the show. You said 7 out of 10 for Joseph, Letitia, Keith. Let's get with them. Hold on, y'all. Sorry about this. All right. I feel like that's a little better. All right. Let's get to the couple. The first couple that I feel like needs to be off of this show. I'm sick of seeing them. Letitia and Keith. Okay. They have nothing going on. I don't even understand why they're still on this show. I don't know what they gave the producers to make them like them. I don't get it. But however, let's get into them. So they're leaving the good old family dinner, the one that her daughters weren't even at. Okay. Did y'all notice that? His whole family and everybody was there. They're leaving this little dinner at the Denny's or wherever they went to, and Letitia's letting us know that, you know, Keith is free. He don't have to go back to any halfway house, jail, or nothing. They're about to go home. They have the house to themselves. The kids are at Aunt Marsha's house, and so they have the whole night to themselves to be able to create some type of baby, and that's what she's saying. Okay, he said he's glad to be home with his wife. Did y'all notice how in the confessionals that he said, "I'm glad to be home with my wife"? He did not allude to the children at all. Now, I don't know if y'all heard that. I heard that. I didn't think that was cool. It makes me feel like that, you know, you're just here to be with Letitia and bump the kids, okay? Sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all, for all the movement. I gotta make sure everything is straight. Okay, so I noticed that. I didn't like that, but whatever. Maybe he left, you know, made a hiccup or whatever. But any man, if I was dealing with and he don't consider my child or my children, is a no-go. Okay. So then they get to the house, right, and they start this fake argument. I thought it was fake. Letitia goes through his phone and she finds some texts from somebody named Stephanie. Okay. I think that that argument was totally straight up fake. I don't think there's nobody named Stephanie, but Letitia and Keith ain't got nothing going on, so they got to keep the drama going. Okay, he's talking about some he don't know no Stephanie and all this other stuff like that, and then after that, 2 seconds later, they're laughing, and she's like, "Let me show you the rest of the house." Just totally boring, totally fake. Okay, she is up here saying, you know, the devil always try and get at you when you trying to live and do good and stuff. I said, don't blame the devil on Keith having a Stephanie in the phone or you messing up in life and all this other stuff. It's the choices that you all make. Okay, some stuff is the devil, some stuff is just y'all straight up choices. Okay, they're boring, they're fake. Keith says that he thinks it's attractive that Letitia is jealous and everything, turns them on and stuff. They're just two toxic idiots. I think they need to be off of the show. He's doing an interview with the producers. His phone rings. The producer says, "Is that Stephanie?" And Keith is like, ah, ha, ha. And he didn't say who it was. It wasn't no Stephanie because there is no such thing as no Stephanie. They have nothing going on. Okay, moving on to the next couple. Let's go into as y'all can see, nothing going on with them. Z and Troy, another couple that has nothing going on. You know, this is what I'm gonna say about Troy. Troy looks like a freaking toddler on this episode. I want my daughter. Give me my daughter. I don't want to talk to Yana. You call Yana. Y'all getting on my nerves. Stop messing with me. Like Troy was acting like a freaking newborn, okay, on this episode. I don't understand what his problem is. He is up here, they're trumping up a storyline, and I'm gonna tell you why. They have nothing going on, and I don't know why they're even back. So we open up with them. Troy has a freaking bonnet on doing push-ups. And I'm like, what is up with this do-rag bonnet looking thing that he keeps trying to wear on his head? Troy, stop trying to bring back the waves and wear this bonnet. It looks a whole hot mess. He looks crazy with this bonnet on. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I just think the bonnet look crazy on him, and I'm sick of seeing it. Okay. So he goes and says that while he was locked up, his father had died, and he's trying to work through these emotions from his past so he can move on to his future. Y'all know last week they went to go see his brother that got shot and killed, what, back in 2014. Now, I'm not trying to be insensitive and say that, that's not a horrible thing. It is tragic that it happened, but it happened back in 2014 or maybe even earlier than that. And now they're bringing it up to 2025 because they ain't got no storyline. And I don't understand why it is that they are bringing this up. He at his sister house, right? And the sister is saying, you need to reach out to Yana to see baby Troy while you're here. He's talking about he came down here to deal with his brother, to close out his to grieve. When he said to grieve, I said, hasn't your brother been dead for a long time? What are you talking about? You act like your brother died yesterday, right? He's talking about he came down there to grieve, to close out all his emotions and all this other stuff, and not to deal with Yana. He said he just want his daughter. So he tells the sister to call Yana for him, so to set up something so he can see baby Troy. Again, reaching for a storyline. Troy, as long as Yana is her mother, which would be forever, you are going to have to deal with her, sir. Nobody's saying you got to be in a relationship with Yana or nothing like that, but you are going to have to deal with her for the sake of your daughter. Why is it that you sitting up having your sister call her and set up a daggone play date with your daughter? No, be a grown man. In this episode, I can agree with Z when she was telling him, man up, talk to Yana so that you can see baby Troy so y'all don't end up in court. But what I didn't agree with, that Z gonna put herself into it as if she is well, y'all do what y'all gotta do so y'all don't claim that I'm in the middle of it. Z, ain't nobody thinking about you. Take yourself out of it. But Troy needs to man up. He showed very much baby and toddler attitude this episode. Hold on, y'all. Sorry, y'all. My microphone has died, so I'm gonna have to go at y'all from this. Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me. I wear a bonnet. Joseph said I wear a bonnet due to me having a big fro. I don't know what Troy was doing. If he wanted waves, then he really needs a do-rag. Right. I thought bonnets were for big hair. I don't know. I always thought bonnets was a woman thing. Like, I didn't think that men wore bonnets. But lately, I've been seeing a lot of men put bonnets on. Now that you said you have a fro, okay, loud and clear, thank you. I understand that. I do understand, because you have a fro, you kind of want to, put that on there. But I mean, it is for, at the house. I have seen dudes lately outside on the streets with bonnets on, and I'm just like, what is going on here? But Troy, I don't know what his problem is. He's acting like a big old baby, in my opinion, and he needs to just cut it out. He really needs to cut it out. He said that he don't want to talk to Yana. He just want his daughter. He gets a call from Z. Z lets him know to man up. And Troy is having his sister call Yana. Yana said no, she's not going to let him see baby Troy and I agree with Yana, and I'm going to tell you why. She's not trying to keep the baby from Troy. Troy needs to understand that him and Z have a toxic relationship with his daughter's mother. They need to sit down with Yana and they need to come to some type of adult decision and how to properly have Troy in his daughter's life. They need to put aside the issues that it's had. Some apologies need to happen across the table, and they need to be adults about this. You think that you breeze into Buffalo and that Yana is just supposed to turn her daughter over to you and your psycho wife. Like, y'all have not communicated with this lady. Y'all have not made amends with her. Y'all have not tried anything. Y'all have been on Facebook before this season started, going back and forth with each other and doing the most. So all of them for real need to grow up, including Yana. Y'all need to sit down and have a conversation. But you just can't have your sister, and the sister said it. She said maybe if you would have called Yana, then she would have been more apt to let the baby come with you. And I agree, because my whole thought process would be, well, why are you letting your sister call about your daughter? Okay, so Troy is a man child and needs to grow up. All right, that's it with that couple. I don't want to talk about them no more. Troy gets on my nerves. This episode, he really got on my nerves. Anytime Z starts making sense and he gets on my nerves, we got a problem. Now outside, yes, I got more respect for myself to be going outside with a bonnet, even if I'm just going to the mailbox. Right. Well, I have seen it. I have seen it. Let's get to Daniel and Bianca. On this episode, Bianca kind of grew up a little bit. Did y'all notice that? Because with Bianca, normally she's annoying and she gets on my nerves. But in this episode, Bianca is starting to grow up. She was starting to show that she's more than just we thought. And even in the confessionals, her skin is starting to look a little clearer. Her hair is looking like it's a little bit more combed. I don't know if these life after lockup checks are hitting and that's what's going on. But she's starting to look a little bit more mature. And Daniel is starting to go in the opposite direction. Okay, so we open up and Daniel is still sitting at the bar with his toxic friends. They up here give him all the bad advice. What kind of friends know that you have not had a drink in 5 years and up here saying, you know what, you're out with the fellas, have a drink? And not only did he have a drink, he dove head first into one of the strongest drinks that you could have if you go out, which is a Long Island. A Long Island has about 5 different liquors in it. It has a triple sec, it has a sour mix, and it has Coke. All right, I know because I've made them several times at my husband's restaurant. And so the Long Island is a really strong drink. And if you are getting off of the wagon, which you shouldn't be getting off of the wagon, the first thing you want to jump into is a Long Island. And let me tell y'all something. He took 2 sips of that drink and it was gone. I was like, dang, Daniel, that makes me think that you've been drinking some stuff. Excuse me. And you didn't want to let us know. If I cough anytime between this review, I'm just getting over my cold, so forgive me for that. So he sucked it down in 2 seconds. And then he's up and talking about some, yeah, so what you got in your cup? He's in the friend cup, sipped some of the friend beer. The friend was like, yeah, you might like that beer. That's from such and such. I'm just like, what is going on? Then all of a sudden they start, it's shot o'clock, shots, shots, shots. They start getting shots. I said, oh my God. I was like, and see, this is why Daniel needs to not be around them friends. This is why you need a sobriety coach and a counselor. You went from having 1 drink to having 4 drinks, and all of it went from bad to worse. Them ain't his friends. Joseph said if he really wanted to drink, he should have just had 1 beer, not a Long Island. I'm telling you, he dove into a Long Island. So that means either he's been drinking or he couldn't wait to drink, because I knew he was going to have a drink as soon as he sat down, because he started asking questions. Oh, what y'all got? What y'all drinking? Is that a Long Island? And then all of a sudden he's getting one. Okay. Bianca's blowing up his phone. She's calling him and calling him and calling him. He's not answering. He said, I don't want to talk to her. The friends is up here telling him, look, have 1 drink. That's not going to mean that you're an addict. And I said, it does mean something. They said that's not going to mean you're going to have a drink tomorrow. But it does mean something if you're an addict. If you are an addict like Daniel is, he is not recovered yet. Because if you had recovered, you would have been able to sit down and have a ginger ale with your friends, have a kiki and a ha-ha, and get on up out of there. But no, you're in recovery. And now you've fallen off the wagon. You want to tell your friends you haven't had a drink in 5 years. No, actually, you had a drink 2 weeks ago? That's what you should have told your friends. And so Daniel is falling back into his ways. Okay. Bianca is blowing him up. He not answering. She tracked his phone. So 2 seconds later, Bianca pulls up in her car. She walks inside and she just like, hey, how y'all doing? And then he was like, oh, hey, how you doing? You want a drink? Now, y'all already know that Bianca has stopped drinking, right? For Daniel, and she needed to herself, but because Daniel was on his sobriety, she decided to help him on his sobriety and not drink. So Bianca has not been drinking, and I actually believe Bianca when she says she has had a drink. Daniel, on the other hand, after this episode, I believe he's been drinking for a little while now. Okay. She said she does not want to drink. How many drinks have you had? He lies and said he only had one drink. And then she's like, well, it looks like it's been four or whatever. And he's like, well, four drinks equal one drink where I come from. And I'm like, child, 4 drinks equal 4 drinks where I come from. So I don't know what you're talking about, Daniel. Okay. His friends are amen in his behavior. They're just up there at the table, just like, telling Bianca, I mean, you can have a drink. We're just out and everything. Daniel looks like how Bianca looked. They showed a flashback of when they confronted her in the bar with his cousin. My, how the day has turned. Now Daniel is looking like Bianca and Bianca's looking like Daniel. What's up, Kelly? Welcome to the live. Now, if Daniel gets into a drunk driving accident, yes, one day, let's see if those friends will be laughing. Exactly. So my has how the day has turned. Now Bianca is making sense and Daniel looking crazy, okay? They get outside and Bianca's like, you're not driving. So she starts, they walk into the car. Daniel is drunk as a skunk. He can barely walk. He dropped his food on the ground in the to-go box. I was just like, Lord. And watch his parents going to try to allude to the fact that it's Bianca's fault that he got back and started drinking. No, it's Daniel's fault, okay? Stop blaming people for your son's actions. Bianca went ahead and stopped drinking, and I believe her, but Daniel been drinking. They get up in the car, right? He starts talking to her reckless, and Daniel is an angry drunk. You got levels of different drunks. You got the goofy ones, the loud ones, the quiet ones, and then you got the angry ones, and Daniel is an angry one. He started talking to her all reckless, and then he called her the B word. And she was like, did you call me a B? I said, girl, that's what I heard. I said, oh my goodness. It couldn't have been me. Daniel was like, you know what? I'm going to jump out the car. She was like, what are you talking about? He's like, at the next light, I'm getting out of the car. Child, he gets out of the car at the next light. And she was like, what is wrong with you? Why are you acting like this? Listen, let me tell you something. Daniel is going down a wrong path. He's going in reverse. And what I think Bianca needs to do is pack up her things and head back to where she from, California or wherever the heck she came from, and leave Daniel by himself. Because Bianca in this episode gave me hope for her, that she's growing up. I was surprised at that too, Kelly, the way he was talking to her and called her a B. Child, I had to lean in and rewind, and I was like, wait a minute, did he call her a B? Like, what is going on? But she needs to leave him alone. And I don't know what is going on here. I think that's why I think he's been having drinks, because he was so comfortable getting all them drinks. The Long Island, then drinking a friend's beer, then shot o'clocking with the friends. And the friends didn't help any better because they just kept cheering him on instead of telling him, dude, okay, the Long Island was one thing, but let's reel it in. No, they was participating in all of the mess with him. And those are not your friends. Your friends are supposed to want the best for you. And the best for you is not for you to be drinking. He don't want her. I agree, Kelly. He don't. He's over Bianca. Now, especially since he's driving, he got a job. See, when people start elevating and doing better in life, they don't want you no more. They forget about everything that you've done for them. They want to kick you to the curb. Now he want to be on his own mess because he feel like Bianca is weighing him down. He even says, she's clingy. She don't want to go meet no friends. I'm all that she has. Pause. She did meet a friend from y'all last apartment. She do have that friend. Maybe she don't want to work because she's still like, look, I got a nice sizable inheritance. And let me tell you something. If I had an inheritance, I wouldn't be doing no 9 to 5 either, okay? Because 9 to 5s these days are toxic and just they take a piece of you. All of these 9 to 5s for real. But we do them because we got to live, right? We got to pay our bills. But he's treating her like trash. He doesn't want to be with her like Kelly said. I agree with that. And at the end of the day, if he continues to drink, he's going to go further and further down, and he's going to bring Bianca down with him. Okay, she needs to go about her business, because in my opinion, if this is the way that she is behaving now from this episode and she's continuing to climb, she don't need him to bring her down. She needs to go about her business, figure her life out, and see what it is that she want to do with life. By the time he found his way home, all his stuff would have been outside, all the way outside, right? So that's what happened with them. I don't know, man. I'm really shocked at Daniel. Like, I'm really shocked at Daniel. I thought that he was going to be better than this. That he was going to come out and just be better than this. But boy, what is going on? What happened that made him drop from grace this far, this quick, unless it's something that we haven't seen? But let's move on to the next couple, which is going to be Kiana and Demadric and Joella. Listen, Joella. You have 3 kids by this dude. Let it be that and stop messing with him. Stop letting this dude come back in your bed. Because all he's doing is playing with you. He's playing mind games with you. He's making you look stupid out on these streets. And for what? And did y'all see, don't Demadric and Joella look alike just a little bit? I was like, why do they look like brothers and sisters? I don't know what's going on. Maybe because they got kids together. I don't know. Or maybe because they be around each other a lot. Okay, Kiana need to pick up on that hint. Okay, so we open up with Kiana, right? She at the house and she up here on the laptop. She is looking for lawyers. Okay, it must be the glasses. I don't know. They look alike to me. Well, I guess when they put on the glasses, yeah, they look alike. I don't know what it is. And so she's looking for lawyers on the laptop because y'all know Joella accused her of vandalizing her car. Now, do y'all think that Kiana vandalized Joella's car, or do y'all think that somebody else did it? Now, I don't know Joella personally. I don't know if she has beef with somebody. I don't know if she beefing with one of Demadric's other baby mamas. I don't know. I cannot say that Kiana did it or if she didn't do it. You said, yep, she did it. Kelly said, yep, she did it. I don't know. But she's looking for lawyers because she done pressed charges against her, okay? Demadric comes in and he's telling Kiana that he spoke with Joella. And Joella says she believed that she did it. And Kiana still wants us to think and believe that Joella did it herself just to get attention. Child, why would somebody vandalize their own car and then have to go pay $600 something to get some new tires? Nobody's going to do that, okay? Demadric's saying that he's going to pay for the tires. Now, when he said he was going to pay for the tires so that she can drop the charges, because that's what Joella told him. She said she might. She never said that she was. But he heard that she was, okay? I immediately thought he was lying. I thought Demadric ain't about to give her no daggone $600 something, because even Joella says, show me the money, because she probably don't believe him. He's probably made promises before and not kept them, right? However, he ended up paying her the $600 something at the birthday party, okay? Kiana talking about some, no, don't pay her no $600. Why would you do that? Kiana is just like, look, I'm not letting my kids go to her kid's birthday party. I said, Lord, now y'all about to bring the kids into y'all drama and y'all mess. We fast forward to the party, right? Which was really like, you know, just the family. And I'm like, where is the baby's friends? Like when I used to give birthday parties for my daughter, she had little classmates that would come, little friends or whatever. I said, it's just the family, but maybe they don't have no friends. I don't know. So anyway, they get to like this putt-putt golf or amusement park place or wherever they went. Demadric parents, first of all, Demadric gets dropped off. And Joey and Kiana's wrong for this. If your kids wasn't going to go to the party, why would you have them in a car with you to drop off Demadric? So the kids could see all of the fun stuff around and then know they can't even go to the party. How really disrespectful is that of you as a mother for your children? They was probably sitting in the back seat like, oh, it looked fun. And then you're going to drive away and they can't go because you got beef with her. Why you just didn't let your kids go with Demadric if you trust him and love him like that and let them enjoy the party? Y'all just doing too much. I hate when they put these kids in the middle of their petty grown-up stuff, because kids don't know that. All kids want to do is have fun and enjoy being a child. Eat some pizza, eat some ice cream, play some games. They not trying to deal with y'all. Oh, I don't like you. I don't like you. You flatten my tires. My kids ain't going to your party. My kids ain't going to your party. It's so stupid and petty, and I just don't understand why they put these kids in the middle of it. But anyway, DeMondre gets out the car, and Kiana has to turn around because she made cupcakes and she forgot to give the cupcakes to him. So she brings the cupcakes back. Just when she bring them back, the parents pull up. Y'all already know I don't care for DeMondre's father like that. I feel like he's full of crap. He never gives him good wisdom or advice. He always seems like he's looking for the next tea so that he can stir up some drama. That's my assessment of him. I could be totally wrong, but I don't rock with a father like that. He get on my nerves, okay? And so, but the parents pulled up, and the father, the mom was just like, where you going? She was like, oh, we weren't invited. Stop lying, Kiana. Your kids were invited. You were not invited, okay? And I don't know why it is that you feel like that. Because didn't you want Joella to do the same thing at the cookout? Didn't you want Joella to just drop her kids off and leave? So then why can't you do that now? See, what's good for the goose should be good for the gander, but you don't want to do that. I like the stepmom. She seems neutral. Yeah, the stepmom was cool because she never does choose sides. She always wants them to just work it out for the kids, right? So the stepmom is like, well, what's the problem? Like, why can't y'all stay and all of that? And I'm just like, girl, I said, just drive away. Drive away, Kiana. So, Joella is asking where Kiana kids is at to DeMondre. She's getting some decorations ready. And he's like, well, they're with their mom. The kids are not coming. She said, oh, okay, well, if the kids ain't coming to our kid's birthday party, then my kid's not gonna go to her kid's party. And I was just like, I said, Lord, today. He said, F her. And I was like, on this show, y'all feel very comfortable disrespecting your significant others. And she says, well, F you too, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, ain't the kids there? Ain't this a kid's birthday party? Like, I'm trying to understand what is going on. Then he goes and talks to the dad, and the dad don't get no wisdom, so we're going to fast forward from that. Excuse me. We get back to Kiana's house. Her kids is outside playing. The little boy is like, Mommy, watch me do a cartwheel. She over there with her cousin talking about DeMondre and Joella and the party and all that. She's like, okay, go ahead. Soon as she said go ahead, the boy doing the cartwheel, she not even looking. She talking to the cousin and all of that about all the dirt and tea. And I'm like, see, this is so jacked up. You ain't even looking at your own child. Just ridiculous. What else happened with them? Nothing else. He gives, like I said, Joella the money for the tires. He says, now here's the money, drop the charges. Joella is like, I'm not dropping the daggone thing. I said, child, I knew she was going to do that. And she says, if you want me to drop the charges and stuff, then stop popping up in my house. Stop sleeping in my bed. I was like, uh-oh. I said, I knew it. I knew it. He up there looking like Boo Boo the Fool, as if he don't know what she's talking about. You're still sleeping in her bed, Mr. Drew Hill. Okay? Stop sleeping in her bed. Stop getting with this chick and choose a side. Choose a woman that you want to be with. Be a man. I don't understand this, right? Kiana, why are you putting yourself in this crap with this dude? This dude got 6 kids, 3 baby mamas. You up here beefing with one of the baby mamas. Why are you dragging yourself down like this? Now you up here facing charges because you possibly or didn't possibly do something to this girl's car. Every time you turn around dealing with DeMondre, something else happens. Get your life together and think about your children. Focus on your hair career, because I don't even think she does that, because every time we see her, she's sweeping up hair. She ain't doing nobody hair. It's just sad. Joseph said DeMondre and Joella reminds me of Jody, right, and Yvette for Baby Boy with this back and forth. Yes, arguing and doing the nasty. Right, later on. I'm telling you, that's what they remind me of too. But it's just sad. Kiana, take yourself out of the equation. You don't have no kids with this dude. You don't have to deal with him. Let Joella have him if that's what she wants. And then Joella, close your legs to this Negro. He does not want to be with you. He keeps playing you back and forth, jumping between your bed and Kiana's bed. You need to focus on your business and your children, Joella. Stop letting this. See, people only do what you allow them to do. Stop letting him jump on you every chance you get. Because what is it about Demadric? He ain't got nothing going on. He ain't got no job. He just got out of jail. He freaking ain't even that attractive if you ask me. And every time you see him, you just keep opening your legs to him. Why? Because Joella loves Demadric, and she thinks that if I keep giving him the sex, that he's going to stay with me or be with me. Because clearly he is, because we have 3 kids. And that don't mean a daggone thing, because if it did, he would be at your house right now. Let's move on from them because they're just ignorant. Let's get on to Will and Courtney. Will and Courtney. Will is annoying. Every time Will gets on this screen now, he's yelling. You shouldn't have done it, Courtney. Why would you do this? Who's you're sleeping with? Why? He's yelling every time we see him on this daggone screen. And I'm so sick of him. Because, Will, why are you so upset? Who did you think you were marrying? This lady just got out of prison, okay? She didn't have no money. So what is she going to do? Latch on to a person that would give her the money so that she can eat, have a place to live, and have clothes and the basic necessities. If you're not going to do it for her, Will, then who do you think is going to do it? Her sugar daddies, according to you, but the only one we keep seeing is Mark. And Mark is happy to open his wallet to whatever Courtney needs. So we get to Courtney, right? She getting dropped off by her girlfriend, from her prison girlfriend, right, to her new room. Courtney has been moving for the last 3 or 4 episodes. Every time we turn the TV, I'm on my way to the halfway house. I'm on my way to this room. I'm on my way to this room. I said, girl, would you get settled? What the heck is going on? Every time we see her, she just puts her stuff in the trash bag because she don't know where she's going to be next. It's ridiculous. So she getting dropped off at this house. This person is a friend of Mark, and she about to rent this room. She going to have to pay $600 a month. Oh, Joseph said Courtney is a mess as well, but I'm more on her side than Will. Absolutely. Like, Courtney is a whole ball of hot mess, but I would rather deal with her than deal with Will, because I feel like this. Courtney does make a lot of sense when she talks to Will. She's like, you didn't even want to give this a chance. And absolutely, Will, you took vows. See, wedding vows are super serious. It's nothing to play with. That's why when you get married, you should really not enter into it lightly, because they are serious to God and they are serious vows. When you say for better or for worse, you better mean that, because every day is not going to be better. When you say for sickness and in health, you better mean that, because you could say I do today and they could be in the hospital next week. Okay, and you have to be there for your partner. You took wedding vows, Will. I don't care if you feel like he gave her that girl, that fake, that daggone fake ring. When she put it on the counter, it looked like it was about to break. I said, that ring is faker than a $2 bill, right? But you took vows. And now you can't sit up here and get mad because this woman is exactly who she was going to come out and be. You ain't even give her a chance to get reacclimated. See, this is why you should not have married her straight out the joint. But you did. What's up, Abby girl? Welcome to the live. And so she's getting to her room. Soon as she gets to her room, she says, this is a nice house. She's, yes, we meet again. She said, this is a nice house. She gets shown to her room. Will calls her, okay? And he says that he just finished talking to a divorce lawyer, okay? The rings you get out of the bubblegum machine, it was, or out of Temu. So Will lets us know that he just finished talking to a divorce lawyer. Courtney is like, I can't believe you. I can't believe you talking to this divorce lawyer and what have you, right? And so he says, listen, all I need you to do is sign these papers. And she was like, I'm not signing nothing, and I got a bone to pick with you. She says, that little ring you gave me was fake. And he told me some, what? How is that fake? I paid $10,000 for that ring, and I don't have no appraisal papers because I got it online. I said, I know you got it online, Will. You got it from Temu. Okay, that's why you ain't got no appraisal papers. Dang on $10,000. He freaking lying, but whatever. So she says, you know what? You are the worst husband ever. Excuse me, everybody. Still getting over my little cough from my cold. But she was like, you are the worst husband ever. And I was just cracking up because I was like, baby, he kind of really is, for real. So Will decides that he's going to go to Portland. All right. So he lands up in Portland, right? He's calling Courtney. She's not answering the phone. All of a sudden, he pops up at her house and she's like, how the heck did you find me? And he said he found her on, what's the name of the app? Location data app. I said, what kind of app is that? So you mean to tell me there's an app out here, and I'm not surprised, that could just put in your name and it'll pull up your address? But how is that possible? That's a lie, because she just moved to that place. I would think that you have to live at a location for a certain period of time where you're getting bills there and stuff like that so they could track you. So I don't believe him when he says that he found her on some data locator app. I believe that Courtney gave him her address, okay? Or the producers gave him her address so they could set up this meeting, okay? Because she just moved to that house. So anyway, he pops up. He's up here saying, listen, I need you to sign these papers. And she's like, I can't believe this. You don't even want to work this out. Why are you doing this? Why are you giving me these papers? Courtney's trying to act like she wants to be married to Will at this point. And I believe that she probably still does, because she probably feels like, listen, Will is the one that's going to take care of me, and I just want to be with him. But in hindsight, though, Will is the one that's going to try to use his money to control Courtney and manipulate her and treat her like trash. That's what I'm getting from him. Right? So Courtney rips up the papers. She was like, I ain't signing the daggone thing. He was like, fine, you can rip them up. You can fertilize your lawn with them. I got more where that came from. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Courtney says something that I thought was very valid in this moment. She told Will that this is all new to me. She said she has never been in a healthy relationship ever. It's new to me to be in a relationship. It's new to me to be trying to live a healthy life, hold down the job, and do all of these things. And I looked at her totally different in this moment, because I was just like, you know what? If you've never been in a healthy relationship, how can you conduct yourself healthy? Right? You have to grow into being the type of person that's able to be healthy. That means in relationships, mentally, physically, spiritually, all of those things, you have to be healthy. And if you've always had an imbalance and you've never had healthy in your life, how can a person expect you to be healthy? If anything, Will should have had patience with her and help her build herself up, help her become a healthy person. But no, at the first sight of trouble, he wants to run for the border and then yell at her every chance he gets and not try to be understanding. Like, it's almost like he just said, oh, we're done. This wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I wanted you to be a certain way when you got out. But if she's unhealthy, how can you expect her to be the person that you want her to be? How about you have patience with her and feed and pour into her? But Will is very controlling. If you notice the way he moves, the way he talks, the way he acts when it pertains to Courtney, he's very controlling, and he wanted somebody that he could control. Okay, and he wanted to use his money to do it because he knew she didn't have no money. But see, when she had somebody else to call on, like Mark or some other people to call on and rely on, Will didn't like that, and that's why he wanted to divorce her. See, if Courtney didn't have nobody, she would have been groveling at Will's feet. He would have probably forgave her because she would have been real sweet and said, I apologize, please help me, old master, or whatever. And he would have took her back, and they would have been together. I'm telling you. But now that she has some form of help and she don't need him, now he want to divorce her. Joseph said, Will reminds me of the tall, dirty guy in high school who never got no play right from the girls, but now he has a little business for himself who wants to buy his way into a relationship. Absolutely. And that's who he is. But anyway, I hope that they just go ahead and break up and get off the show, because I do not want to see Will another week yelling at this lady, because that's all he's doing. Every time she answers the phone, where are you, Courtney? Why don't you, Courtney? I would hang up on him too. I wouldn't answer the phone either. Why? Because you don't want to talk to her and work it out. You just want to yell at her. Who have you been sleeping with? And Courtney was like, what? I was like, boy. Let's get on to the last couple. Say the best for last, y'all. Brooke and JK. Boy, Brooke, Brooke got straight mollywop. Brooke is the type of person that get beat and then get up talking trash as if she won the fight. Listen, let's get into it. So Brooke is going to go meet up with Alex. So y'all know Alex is JK's ex, all right, that he been creeping with, sleeping with, and all this other stuff, okay? So as soon as she meets up with her, she starts, Brooke is all talk, and no bite, okay? So Brooke sits up here, and she can't conduct herself as a grown woman and sit down and have a conversation. She starts cussing at her, insulting her, and Alice was just like, you know what? I ain't got time for this. I'm about to be done with this because you're crazy. Joseph said, one thing I would give Courtney, she is never without a roof over her head, okay? And she got plenty of support systems. That is so true. One thing about Courtney, she said, Will, you got me messed up. You think you the only bag in the world or in which she at Portland? I got people. I don't need you. So Brooke just unhinged, disrespectful. She disrespects everybody. Her mother, her employer, her Bonnie, when Bonnie was her friend, JK's mama. Brooke needed to have her butt whooped. And I was hoping that the producers backed off a little longer so she can get a few more hits in, because maybe it would have knocked some sense into her. Like, I was waiting for Alex to uppercut her, because she's one of them people that need a good old fashioned knuck if you buck, drag out, and what's the boxers that be in the ring. She need one of them fights. She needs to get her butt whooped because she don't get it. She's very disrespectful, very rude. So Alex is up here walking away from her, cursing at her, telling her to get out of her face. Brooke was all up in Alex's face, putting her hand in her face. She was like, you know what? Go ahead about your business. You know, Alex was warning her, get out of my face, go on about your business, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. All of a sudden, Brooke hits Alex in the face and Alex snapped. She was like, I know you can say what you want, but don't hit me. So Alex is wailing on her, and end up getting her on the ground. And then producers, bodyguards stepped in, because I believe if they didn't step in, that Alex was going to have her on the ground, knocking some sense into Brooke. Brooke came dressed up right to get beat up. Exactly. And funny, because Alex came in a t-shirt and pants with her hair pulled up, because she was like, I don't know if I'm gonna have to knock somebody out, and she had to. Okay. Brooke get up and she talks about, that's all you got, you scared, you running or whatever. I'm like, girl, did you just get put down on the floor? Child. And then when the fight ended, it was the calmest end to a fight ever. Any fight I have ever seen has been somebody cussing, jumping, somebody had to pull them off or whatever, especially a female fight. They just got up and Alex started walking again. I was like, that was the end of the fight? I said, Dad, that was a calm ending to the fight, right? So Alex gave her Alex was not playing with her, but Alex was calm. So Alex get back to her car, and Brooke is like, you know, you up here running and everything. Alex said, I don't have time to mess with children. She tells the producers, if Brooke would have conducted herself as an adult, I would have gave her everything she needed to know. So the producers was like, well, we right here, girl, give it to us. Did you sleep with JK? She said, yes, I have been sleeping with JK. They said, did you get pregnant by JK and miscarry? Yes, I had got pregnant and I miscarried. I said, well, Dad, bag. Thank you, Alex, for clearing that up. While she's telling the producers, Brooke outside telling them, okay, scare hoe, locking the door, blah blah blah, and all this other stuff. I said, child, she over here talking about how she'd have been with your man, he got pregnant by him and everything, while you standing on the outside looking like a goofy. She really didn't want to, right? She really did not want to fight. She really didn't want to fight, but Brooke kept it up, right? So, what else happened with them? She told the producers what it was. Brooke standing out there looking goofy. After Alex rolled off, Brooke calls JK. Yeah, I just had to slap some sense into your old girl. She confirmed y'all been out here sleeping together and all this. I said, child, slap sense into who? I said, see, the people that lose is always the ones that put 20 on 10. They start talking about something, yeah, I had to beat him up. And they tell the stories to everybody else that wasn't there. And then the real story comes out later on and when they see it on the screen, they find out that, man, you got beat up. But the one that loses is always the one jumping around, talking trash, hyping it up even more. The calm people, those the people you need to worry about, okay? JK was just like, listen, I don't know what you're talking about. He kept denying the stuff and everything. And she kept saying that she had questions for her and she didn't answer the questions. But Brooke, you would have got your answers if you would have sat down and let the lady talk to you instead of acting like an out of control, ghetto, fabulous trailer park trash that you are. Child. Anyway, that's what happened with them. Because I don't think nothing else happened with them. I think that's all the couples. Let me make sure I didn't leave nobody out. Thank y'all for being here. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already with that. Joseph said Brooke might have started it with that first slap, but Alex went ahead and finished it, yep, and knocked her to the pavement. Absolutely, because that's what I saw. Now, I don't know what other people saw, but I saw her get knocked to the ground. Yeah, that's all the couples. All right, y'all, that is all the couples that I have for this week's. This episode was pretty cool. Of course, we didn't have Mike and Justine on because they have no storyline. I wish we didn't have Keith and Letitia on. They have no storyline. Z and Troy have no storyline. It's just sad. The only couples that have anything remotely going on is Kiana and Demadrick and Joella, Brooke and JK, and Will and Courtney, which is weird because Will and Courtney really didn't have nothing going on for a little bit, but they about to get off the show anyway as soon as Courtney signed these papers, I guess. So we really only got two couples that got anything going on worth anything, okay? But here we are, week after week, and I give y'all what I can give y'all the sauce that I can give y'all. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to the Redefine Me channel. We have a good, great time over here. Give this live a thumbs up. We are a lifestyle channel. I do show reviews, I do product reviews, I do motivation, inspiration. I am doing reaction videos. I'm trying to do my first reaction video actually tomorrow. What show you like? What you mean, Kelly, what show? I actually am about to start doing my first reaction video. We are going to talk about a current event or a true crime on tomorrow. I'm going to do it at 6 p.m. and I'm going to do it via StreamYard. It's going to be something new. I'm going to prep for it the whole day tomorrow as much as I can and make sure that it goes off without a hinge. So if you are not subscribed, subscribe to the channel so you can get the notification when I go live to do the true crime or the reaction video, okay, at 6 p.m. Make sure your notification button is on if you like reaction videos, because I'm going to be doing on tomorrow. My days for reaction videos is probably going to be Monday and Friday, and we are going to react to things like body cam. Oh, do I watch Love and Hip Hop? No, I used to love and Hip Hop. Back in the heyday when it was Peter and Amina and Tara and that whole thing. You love true crime? I love true crime, okay? I love true crime shows, everything. And I got a couple of things we going to react to. I used to love and Hip Hop though, but Love and Hip Hop done got cheesy. Like there's no love and there's no hip hop, so it's just like I don't even know why the show is still named that. I tried to get back into watching it, but every time I do, I'm like, I don't know. But I like the old school cast that was on Love and Hip Hop. The only thing I know. I think I stopped watching it maybe 2 years ago, maybe. I can't stand Kurt and Rashida, especially Kurt, because I watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, yes. And it's crazy because that's the only Real Housewife franchise I watch. Yes, when Jocelyn, listen, Jocelyn and Stevie J was some good TV. Right, when they broke up, you checked out. That was some good TV on there. Because when Jocelyn walked up in the house, I was like, what's up, maid? I was like, girl, it wouldn't have been me. You wouldn't have walked up in that house and called me no maid. Oh, I see you got your maid outfit on. Jocelyn, girl. And Stevie J with their faces. And all his kids look like him. It's just sad. Woo! But that was good TV. Even back then, they had drama, but we also had the music aspect of it. And we also had the love and stuff. So it kind of lived up to his name. But now, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if I could get back into it. Because it's like a joke at this point. Right? Oh yeah, it was good TV. Like, Jocelyn with her crazy self, she was always a problem. I knew she was going to get pregnant by Stevie J. I knew it. It was a matter of time. But in my opinion, Bonnie Bella is the only one of his kids that don't really look like him. I don't know what that's about. The rest of his kids, like Eva, the one he got by Mimi, that girl looked just like him. That was reality TV gold, right? Flavor of Love. Oh my gosh, back in the day, that was amazing because I used to be glued to the TV trying to understand how these really attractive girls was up here kissing this dude that looked like a turd of doo-doo. I don't understand it. I was just like, yo, Flavor Flav looked like he a good time, right? Right. Flavor Flav like he's a good time, but he is not somebody that I would be like, oh, give me a kiss, boo, like, ugh. But he got 6 kids. And it's crazy because he has a son that looks just like him, but a better looking version of him. Like, he was on a Growing Up Hip Hop. I don't know if y'all watched that, but his children was on Growing Up Hip Hop. One of his daughters and the son, boy, this boy looked just like Flavor Flav, but he's cuter than Flavor Flav, but you could tell that's his son because he looked like him, but a better looking version of him. So I don't know. I got my reality show TV shows that I like, but it's just that for right now, I only review the Love After Lockup. Now I will do some other reality reviews because I do watch other reality shows. It's just that for me, Love After Lockup seems like it just flows better when I'm reviewing it. But I do like My 600-Pound Life. I do review that whenever it's going to come back on. New York was my favorite girl on the show. She has so many quotes for the show. Absolutely. I do watch Tubi movies. One thing that I do want to start reviewing, or maybe, I don't know if I'm going to do a shorts or a whole review, is new on Netflix. Netflix drops a lot of new things on it, and I don't think people even give some of those new on Netflix shows a chance. One that I'm watching right now is the Hurricane Katrina documentary. Now, we all remember Hurricane Katrina, and we know about it. So I wasn't going to watch it at first. But, baby, when I tell you they get into detail, because I did not even conceive what it is that those people endured for a straight week of not being able to see. They survived the storm. But when them levees broke, that's when all hell broke loose. And when they are getting the detail about how they were overlooked, left without food, how Bush was the president at the time, the son, he did a horrible job and failed them people. When they were showing it on TV, because they were showing footage, it looked like a third world country down there in New Orleans. And I'm watching it glued to the TV like, I can't believe that. It's like it happened 20 years ago, but because I was from the outside looking in and I wasn't there, they're giving you an in-depth account of how it actually was to be there at that time. And it was unbelievably sad, like for real. So I'm gonna start doing that new on Netflix, and I'm probably gonna do it like on a Friday so that you could like binge watch what you can binge watch for the weekend. When Shy, oh, I love the Shy, come back on. I love The Shy. I think I am going to review The Shy because I love it. Some Tubi movies be surprising me by how good. Yeah, I always have appreciation for low budget movies because they really work with that what they got. Yes, create their own magic. I agree. When you don't have much of a budget and you got to work with what you got and you can come up with something good, that right there is creativity at its finest. But I will think about reviewing The Shy because I do watch The Shy. Now, okay, so I think I missed the episode. Did whatchamacallit's mom die? Because I know she had cancer. And I know they were doing they did a funeral for her while she was still here. But for some reason, I couldn't find the next episode. Since you like true crime, I'm assuming you like horror movies. Oh, yes, I love me some horror movies. Now, it depends on what horror movie. The demonic ones that's just too creepy, I back off of them. But I do like a good horror movie. I like horror movies that have like a mystery attachment to them. Like they reveal how the woman killed, why the woman was killing all of the men in their 20s because maybe she was assaulted when she was 20 or something like that. Like true horror movies with a mystery twist is really good. Oh, she did die in the... Oh my God, Kelly. I gotta find this episode. I have to find this episode. Oh. And I know I would have been crying. Oh my gosh. What happened to whatchamacallit's mother and her wife? You know what I'm talking about. The girl with Emmett. Why can I not think of her name? What happened to them? Last episode, they at Emmett's. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm about to go find it because we got a fire stick. I'm about to go find it as soon as I get off of here. I think The Exorcist is the only demonic movie I've watched and that scared the life out of me. Right. Keisha, that's her name. Where are they at? And I would love to see her little brother come back. I know he went to California, but I would love to see him make an appearance. Maybe he'll come back because Emmett's mom is dead now. You know what movie was scary that y'all not even going to think that was scary, but I thought it was scary toward the end? The Blair Witch Project. Listen, at the end of the movie, we was laughing the whole movie. And when it got to the end, we was just like... Oh. We had to watch football bloopers afterwards because nobody could go to sleep. Oh, he's coming back next season. Okay, thank you, Kelly. I was like, it would be nice to see him. He died in... Oh, I'm about to go watch the episode. I'm about to find it. Because I can't. Oh, and I was looking for it, and I was like, where is this episode? All right, y'all, let me get off of here. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for joining me. Again, like I said, tomorrow I'm doing my first reaction video. So make sure your notification buttons is on. I'm going live at 6 p.m. Make sure you like this live. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And your notification button is on. P-Valley needs to come. Okay. I know Emmett broke down. Oh my goodness, I'm going to cry. I know I'm going to cry. P-Valley, I only want P-Valley to come back if they tone down the extreme sex scenes between Uncle Clifford and the rapper dude. Like, that was just a little too much for me. It felt like season 2 of P-Valley, they really kept showing a lot of that. And the camera would be so close up on them. It was all the way in their booty holes and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't want to see all of that like that. No. So, yeah. If that happens, okay. But if it come back on and they got too much going on with them sex scenes, I can't do it. Good night, Kelly. Thank y'all for joining me. I'm going to get off of here. I will see you all on the good old tomorrow, okay? Make sure your notification buttons is on, and we're going to get into these reaction type videos, okay? I love y'all so much. Y'all have a happy, pleasant evening and a blessed Monday morning, okay? Love y'all.